Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. So we're going to be doing a reading today, and I labeled this reading a twin flame union reading. And so the reason that I labeled it as such is because we're going to be talking about the union of the masculine and the feminine energies within the self. And so I'm going to be pulling cards for the divine masculine energy and the divine feminine energy. And you're absolutely free to watch this reading from whatever perspective you choose. However, I do encourage people to watch it from the perspective of the two aspects of the self. This has been coming up a lot lately, and it's something that I've been guided to share with people because it is so important, right? No matter what labels you identify with, right? If you identify with the twin flame journey or not, all of us are in this process of needing to balance the masculine and the feminine parts of ourselves. We all have both of these essences within us, and it is essential for the ascension process that these energies become balanced and united, right? That we have that inner union energy between our own divine feminine and divine masculine energy. Even those who identify as twin flames, right? You have both of these energies within yourself. And if you are ever going to achieve any type of sacred union with a sacred partner, you first need to have these energies balanced within the self. And so it applies to absolutely everyone, no matter how you identify your spiritual journey, what labels you identify with, any of that stuff. It is so, so, so important. And so as we go through this reading, you may find yourself wanting to identify with an outer person, with an outer counterpart, and that's fine if you do that. But I do encourage you to also really look at it as the two aspects of the self. Where am I on this journey, right? How are aspects of myself having this journey? And what can I learn from that? And how can we balance that? And we're going to get into that at the end of the reading. The ways to balance and unite those energies, right? Our masculine and feminine energy is only balanced when they work in concert and synchronicity and flow with one another, right? They take from each other in order to be whole. And so an example of this would be like if we need to fight, if we need to stand up for something, right? That's traditionally, we would associate that with masculine energy, the action, right? However, in order to come from a place of love, we must also have compassion. And that's the feminine energy that brings in. The feminine energy softens the masculine energy. And the masculine energy helps to bring more structure and form and boundary to the feminine energy, right? And so it's this way that they take and they borrow from each other in order to manifest in this sacred way, and in order for us to act out of a place of love, right? Because true love is giving, right? It is, but it's not overly giving, because then if we are overly giving of ourselves, we're not loving ourselves, right? So it's always balanced. There's always that counterpart, that dance between the two aspects of the self. And we need to be able to live in harmony and in balance with that. That is how we become whole, right? And even if you identify with the twin flame concept, that concept is not two halves of a soul. That is two whole souls who come together to form something even greater. Okay, so we're always seeking that unity and that wholeness within first, and then we see that reflected outwardly in all sorts of different circumstances in our outer lives. And so I'm going to be pulling from the Isis Oracle to start us off today. Clear. And let's get a card for the divine feminine. What is the journey that our divine feminine energy is undertaking right now? What is that journey? What is the guidance for the divine feminine energy? Divine feminine. Okay, and we got two that came out. So we have the miracle of Isis, miraculous healing of the goddess. And it looks to me as though we may have Isis and Osiris there, which is interesting. And then we also have the key of life, spinning the Ankh. And these cards are just so gorgeous. And so this is interesting. So let's read the miracle of Isis first and see what this has to say. If I can get my alphabet under control here. There we go. All right. Yes. Isis was known as a talented practitioner of the healing arts and was capable of miraculous healings. For you, beloved, she offers a miracle healing. No matter how much you have struggled with a particular matter, no matter how impossible it may seem to imagine your life without this old wound, addiction, problem, relationship issue, or inner struggle being a part of it, you are guided now to accept the possibility of miraculous healing, to let go and let the goddess be. The Lady Isis wishes to lift a load that has become too heavy for you to heal on your own, beloved. She cannot take something away from you if you are not willing to release it to her, however. Release for healing means trust, letting go of attachment to outcome and how that outcome might be achieved, and opening to the divine genius of healing that seeks to express the perfection of divine love through you now. Yes. Okay, so this is an aspect of what our divine feminine energy is going through now. It's these issues of attachment, right? This need to release, this need to let go, and this sort of tug of war, I feel, as to like how to go about this, and whether it's like with one hand sort of releasing and extending the hand, but then pulling it right back. Right, in this sort of in-between space of really not knowing that there's something that needs to be released, but not being able to do it. And so for those of you who do relate to the twin flame dynamic, this could have to do with the divine feminine having difficulty releasing the person that she believes to be her divine masculine, her counterpart. But this could be anything, any load, any burden that has been heavy that the divine feminine has been carrying for a long time. She's feeling the need to release, but she's having that difficulty doing it and allowing that to happen. It's an issues of attachment, but it's also issues of trust. It's issues of trust in herself, trust in spirit, right? Trust in her path. I feel the divine feminine having this sort of a little bit of a faltering maybe with the trust in her own path, and in the trusting that spirit is going to provide and that everything is going to be taken care of, right? Our feminine energy is very much that nurturing, caretaking kind of energy. And so anywhere where that aspect of us is feeling as though there's something we need to let go of, but it's almost like we're afraid that if we do, it's going to mean that people in our lives are not taken care of. Right. I'm feeling that energy coming through for some of us when it comes to that aspect of our nature, like that need to know that everything's going to be okay, right? That need to know how things are going to work out before releasing, before surrendering, before letting go. And that's not the way it works, unfortunately. And I feel like that's what our divine feminine energy is starting to realize, is that's not how it works. And that's not how trust works, right? Trust doesn't work. Like if we need to know all the answers, we're not trusting, right? Trust comes from not knowing. It's like that blind faith kind of energy sometimes. And we build that trust and we build that confidence in that process, the more we're able to release and to let go, and then to see how we are taken care of. But it's like there's something that she's just not wanting to release. I feel like the divine feminine has let go of a lot of attachment, of a lot of things, and really opened up in many different ways in her life. But there's an area, and this is going to be different for everyone, where this area falls. For some it's love, for some it's finances, like if it's career, whatever it is, there's an area where it's a little difficult to do. And so the divine feminine is being offered healing around that now. If she wishes to accept that healing is there for her. For some it's a little more abstract. It's a way of thinking, it's a behavior, there's like an addictive quality to it. Or something that once was an addiction maybe and isn't quite an addiction anymore, but still gains some of those characteristics sometimes. I feel her kind of like playing with it. It's sort of like playing with the fire almost, which is really interesting. And it's like the aspects of herself that are really ready to be released and let go of now. For a lot of our divine feminine, what it really comes down to is that, and that may be personified by different people, by different outer circumstances and outer things, but really that's what it boils down to in the end, is an aspect of the self that is ready to be shed, that is ready to be let go of. Yeah. Yep. And so, yet trust and surrender is what's being called for. Trust and surrender. You are capable of great work when you trust in your own heart and the love of the divine flowing through you with total surrender. And then let's see what the key of life has to say here. Oh, she just looks so fierce and calm at the same time in this particular photo. The key of life is the mysterious Ankh, the looped cross held in the hand of Isis. This mystery is opening to you now. The Ankh portends new life being born through you now. It could be in a creative sense or in a physical sense in the terms of health, or even a child that wishes to be born, or a new project that needs to be created in service to humanity. This new life being born in whatever form will enrich your life, bringing you into more wholeness and fulfillment. Let it happen. So it's like, this is whatever it is that is wanting and needing to be released, right? And that struggle of trusting and surrendering to that. But on the other side of that is like everything that you ever wanted, right? If you're just willing to surrender, if you're just willing to release, to have trust and faith in the process, however that looks, to have trust in the outcome without knowing what that outcome will be. Right? But knowing that it will be for the highest good. That's trust, saying, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I know that whatever happens next will be for my highest good, and I am ready to allow that, and I am ready to welcome that. That's the kind of energy that the Divine Feminine is invited to embody right now. The Ankh comes as blessing and confirmation that new life is seeking to express itself through you now, and encouragement for you to allow this to occur. Something has started to be born through you at this time. See it through, beloved. Don't let it struggle to survive from lack of attention or care, or a belief that it will not be enough in any way, or it will be too hard to handle once it is created. The Ankh says that life will prevail and your creation will come to pass. Do not give up on your creative destiny. Stay with it. You are flowing in the right direction, and you have spiritual support from the unseen worlds. If you are unsure of what your creative destiny may be, or unaware of the exact nature of the new life being born through you now, remember that sometimes the creation will be a project or object, a relationship, or a new human life. Sometimes it is even a way of thinking that is wise and heart-centered and will be available for others to draw nourishment from, as an alternative to more destructive and addictive thought patterns which humans can struggle with from time to time. There is one creative process common to all of humanity, and that is the birthing of the soul light into form. No matter what other forms of life are being created through you now, the mystery of the Ankh reveals that you can know for sure that you are growing spiritually at this time to allow more of your soul light into your life. And as we allow more of our soul light into our life, all the things that are not compatible with our soul's light have to be released and shed. What this means is that no matter what the appearance of circumstance in your life right now, no matter whether you feel alive with creative flow, energized and happy, or whether you are in despair as your old world no longer brings you peace or seems to be falling away, your divine soul is behind it and new life is emerging. It is safe to trust and allow the process to unfold. Okay, that's coming through so strong for the feminine. This oracle also brings a special message to those on the creative path. If you have hit a blank page or a dry well for inspiration, if you are encountering doubt in your ability to create and flow, do not despair. The Ankh promises fresh inspiration will return to you, and you can be assured that just as the Nile floods filled with life after it has receded, so too will your creative flow soon return. Your creative days are not over. Your creative well will rise again, and you will feel youthful, energized, and full of hope and promise, inspired to create. Yes, beautiful. So there is so much creative energy wanting to be born right now, right? So many projects, so much, this entire life, right? I'm feeling this as the entire future. Like we talk about the fated life versus the destiny life, right? And the destined life coming to fruition. And it's just about releasing all that does not serve anymore, releasing, shedding whatever it needs to be shed, taking that risk, taking that leap, knowing and trusting and surrendering to the process in front of you. Whatever this thing is that has seemed insurmountable, that you have tried to let go over and over and over again, and you just cannot seem to release the attachment, there is healing available now to allow you to do so. And I feel like with this full moon coming up on Halloween on the 31st, check out that video if you haven't yet. I just put it out today. we're going to be feeling that, right? That is going to help. Whatever understanding, whatever healing needs to come, seek that during that full moon, and you may find that and be very surprised at the outcome. And you may be surprised at solutions to situations. I'm also feeling like situations that seemed hopeless, there are solutions and possibilities that you haven't even thought of yet. But first, you have to release the attachment, and you have to release and surrender to what is not, so that you can be open to what is. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Flower of Life, divine creativity and manifestation, right? So much creative energy, so much that's wanting to manifest, to burst forth. So it's just trust yourself, trust in that process, trust in spirit to guide you, and really just go. Like, the feminine energy is the creative energy, right? It's the inspiration, and then the masculine energy is the spark and the action. And so it's like, utilize that, sink into that inspiration, and then utilize, that's how we balance these energies, and then tap into that masculine energy to then manifest and create what it is that you're wanting and ready to birth into the world. That is yearning and calling to be birthed from you. All right, clear. Let's get 2 cards for them, or 1 or 2 cards, whatever wants to come out for the masculine energy. What is the divine masculine energy experiencing right now? What is the masculine side of our essence experiencing at this time? Okay, and we got 3. So, and then we got the knot of Isis, which is the divine, which is connecting with the divine feminine on the bottom of the deck. So that's really interesting. It's embracing the feminine aspect of our nature. And so we'll see how these other cards play into this. We have the Scales of Balance, ancient Tantra of the soul. Ooh. Then we have the Temple of Carnelian, entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet. And we have Truths Unveiled, the revelation of Isis. Ooh, very interesting. These are some powerful and intense cards. So I'm feeling a lot of, there's a lot of the Tantra of the soul. I feel like this is balancing the aspects of the nature. I'm feeling like karmic balancing, but I'm feeling this as the balance of the masculine and the feminine energy. This is so interesting. Let's see what this has to say. And like this initiation by fire process, like a lot of intensity coming through for the masculine right now. A lot of intensity, a lot of awakening, a lot of revelations, like really a whole new level of clarity for the masculine side of our essence right now. So this is exciting, and we're going to see what this first card has to say. You are a tantrika, an initiate on the path of divine healing of the masculine and feminine, the 2 sacred polarities that are universal to human experience. As these energies come into mutual respect and balance, you attain great power, presence, and healing effect in the world of the soul and in the human world of forms here on earth. You are supported in further exploring this path now under the auspices and blessings of beloved Isis. You are in the process of sacred relationship healing of the divine masculine and divine feminine energies within your own soul. This is the advanced spiritual path of Tantra. It is the connection with the body and soul. The effect of this inner divine relationship healing is genuine enlightenment of the mind and the body. The body becomes a living sacred temple of light, energy, and wild aliveness. This embodiment can be experienced in movement, in deep stillness, in vitality, and in quietness. You are a tantrika, a sacred priestess of the tantric arts. Some people mistakenly believe that Tantra is simply about sexuality, but it is in truth the journey of the soul to bring masculine and feminine polarities into wholeness, love, unity, and empowerment, to learn to be the enlightened path in every element of your being. This is soul-building work that is in great service to the spiritual healing and evolution of humanity, which is in deep need of those such as yourself, who can help create sacred connection between mind and body. It might be through your own personal healing of your body-mind connection, and perhaps through your healing services for others that you walk your tantric path. It might be done in a private way or in an obvious way. What matters is what feels right for you. Walking this path authentically is a choice to live in dedication to the sacred work of Isis, who taught us about the creative power that could come from the healing that could come of healing the relationship between masculine and feminine consciousness. And we talk about this right now. This is going on collectively as well, as we are healing this relationship between the masculine and the feminine consciousness and the ways that those energies relate to each other. And we see that internal healing going on and reflected to us in our external relationships. So I feel like the masculine is really taking note of that lately and really noticing that and coming to a deeper appreciation and understanding for that. You are guided to accept this healing through learning to balance the masculine and feminine energies within yourself and your relationship with others. Balancing give and take, directing and flowing, play and solitude are ways to do this now. Learning to feel as comfortable as possible with your sexual and spiritual nature, seeing how they can complement rather than compete with each other is helpful too. Connection with the body is the most powerful form of healing for the feminine energy, as it holds the secrets to divine feminine wisdom. This can occur through movement, dance, and yoga that is based on body awareness and presence, rather than necessarily involving fast-flowing postures that may take you more into your head than your body. You can come more into your body through time in nature, swimming, laying in the sun, resting, or walking, provided that you stay present to the physical sensations that you experience. And so I feel like this is happening for a lot of divine masculines as well. As we have this Mars retrograde in Aries, where we are receiving an upgrade, right, to our divine masculine energy, right? We are purging out some of those lower vibrational aspects of the masculine energy and coming more into that sacred masculine energy. And one of the aspects that we are exploring is our sexuality and how we can use that in a way that is beneficial, right? In a sacred way. We're learning, the masculine energy right now is learning the sacredness of all aspects of his being and how to manifest those and how to utilize those and how to express those both inwardly and outwardly, which is really, really beautiful. This oracle also comes as a guide for your path of inner healing and service. You are encouraged to explore divine masculine and feminine healing within yourself specifically at this time. This may involve forgiveness of past relationships with significant males or females in your life. It may also require an adjustment of softening to allow in feminine wisdom, or cutting out some distraction or draining situations or relationships that minimize your sense of your own power and capacity to use masculine wisdom well. You are also guided, if in healing work with others, that you can help others heal through exploring the interplay of masculine and feminine energies. It might be through connection of mind and body, through inner and outer worlds, through sexuality and spirituality, joining for healing. Enjoy the unfolding journey, beloved initiate, for it will be highly creative and could involve art, movement, as dance or yoga, breath work, and much more. I love it. That is so beautiful. And that's exactly what we're talking about here, right? Is that union of those energies within. So the masculine energy, our masculine energy is on point with that right now. Really seeking that out and seeking to understand that and to express that. And I feel that connection with the body as well. Really looking to be reconnected to his own body and all the different ways. Like, what does it mean, right? And to that this body is the temple of my soul. How do I treat and honor my body as a temple, right? What does that mean? How do I connect to it? How do I move within it? How do I own this energy, right? How do I own my own energy and my own power? And how do I utilize and express both aspects of my nature, right? The masculine and the feminine aspects of my nature in harmony. How do I be in harmony? I feel like the masculine energy in general is just really seeking harmony and alignment right now. And so the Temple of Carnelian says, you have such strength within you. It is time to trust in your own boldness and courage. Taking risks that feel true to your heart and engaging in practices that make you feel genuinely and truly alive, embodied in more of yourself, even if not always comfortable, are going to help you live the life you were born to live. So this is, once again, I'm feeling that, right? the fated life versus the destiny life. Really taking control. The divine masculine is in a place where he's really ready to take control of his own destiny, of his own life, and really like getting into that space. It's funny because our masculine and our feminine energies are both being asked to take risks right now, right? Our feminine energy is being asked to surrender and to trust, right? To surrender and to trust in the masculine energy, in the action that is ready to be taken, right? In the inspiration and the whisperings of the soul. I really like how this is kind of playing off each other right now as these energies do within us. In the fierce belly of Sekhmet, the lion-headed sister of Isis, the Egyptian goddess of passion, courage, and fire, there is no room for procrastination, self-doubt, or turning back. She urges you on to your high destiny, right? The destined life, calling you to believe, keep going, reach higher, and expand wider. You can do so knowing that the Temple of Carnelian will bring you warm strength, encouragement, and deep trust in your own body wisdom. Here we go with the body wisdom again, to guide you through any situation or relationship that may arise to test you, so that you can grow into more of your magnificent being. This oracle calls you to have the courage of your convictions, to have faith in yourself and your own process, to be fearless as you are assured of victory. Sekhmet will not be defeated. If you are concerned that you are biting off more that you can chew, or are not sure about the path you are taking, if you are up to the standard, or if you will ever gain the recognition that you feel you deserve, then know that as you enter the Temple of Carnelian into the fire belly of the lion-headed priestess, you shall be guided to success. Yes, Sekhmet says fortune favors the bold and guides you to take the leap you know in your heart it is time for you to take. Get off the fence. The divine masculine energy is feeling that call to get off the fence, to take that leap, to really take the action. I feel as though there's been a knowledge, right? When it says truths unveiled, there's been a knowledge that's been bubbling up within the masculine energy for quite a while now. And it's like really reaching that boil, right? That boiling point. And he is ready to act. He's feeling that pressure, right? That pressure to act. And this is confirmation that the masculine energy will be supported in that process. Yeah. Oh, yes. And this also speaks of divine justice. If you are involved or witnessing a situation that seems unjust, abusive, or concerning and are worried that it is not right, the Lion Sister Priestess tells you that it shall be resolved according to divine justice and there is nothing to fear. Pray to her in unconditional love for help, resolution, and trust. If you feel intuitively to act, then do so. Otherwise, allow her to have her way as she has done and always will do. There is much more unfolding in life than we can possibly know consciously, and her ways are vast and many. Divine justice always prevails. Right? So any situations, if there are situations that our masculine energy is involved in right now, that are difficult to navigate, I feel as though our masculine energy is really being called, as we're being called to step into our power, right? We're being called to really navigate situations where the waters may seem a bit murky, right? It's our morals, our ethics, our values, all of that. Like, we're constantly put in positions where we feel like we need to compromise those, or where we felt as though we weren't compromising them, and then deeper truths are unveiled and we begin to realize that we were compromising them, or that the situation wasn't necessarily what we thought it was to begin with, right? I feel like the masculine energy is beginning to realize, to really be able to look beyond what they're being shown to the deeper truths in underneath the matters of things. And in some situations possibly, and we've had a lot of cards coming out about this, right? This idea of like maybe being the only person that truly sees the truth for what it is, and then needing to act. And there's just been a lot of situations that have really called the divine masculine to step into his integrity and step into his power and really decide what that means for him, right? And why for him, right? We're talking about the masculine, but this is an aspect of ourselves as well. What does that mean for you? What are your own personal morals and ethics and values? What is acting in your integrity, right? And really moving into that and finding, kind of like feeling like their back's been pressed up against a wall in situations. And so this is guidance to pray for the highest and best outcome for all involved. And then to pull into that divine feminine energy and just trust and surrender and act only when intuitively guided to do so. But there's other areas where the divine masculine knows that they need to act. That is clear, right? This card also represents a heavy yes. This is a hard yes. Whatever it is that you have been considering, absolutely this is confirmation that it is time to take that leap. Whatever it is that your soul is truly calling you to do, where it is that you're being called to step up, in what area of your life, right? If it feels good, do it. It might feel uncomfortable, it might feel scary, but if it feels right and you know in your heart, right? Like allow yourself to take that risk, to take that leap. The energy is supporting this. And yeah, I'm going to just skim over the truth is unveiled here. Unveiled, and just see if there's anything else that we want to read about that. Oh, yeah, this is interesting because it plays right into what we were just talking about. There are times when appearances of people, places, and things are truly deceptive. You will sense this when something feels uncomfortable within you, when you notice feelings of anxiety or doubt within you. You may think there is something wrong with you, but actually you are intuitively sensing that all is not as it appears to be, looking past what is being presented to the truths underneath, right? It is wise to trust your inner feeling rather than being convinced by outward appearance. There is a situation in your life, especially involving relationships, where something is not as it is being made out to be. To avoid undue suffering later on, Isis guides you to truth and revelation now. And yes, I am feeling these revelations. It's like little mini revelations and those stirrings, right? Those stirrings of discomfort or unease that are beginning to get louder and louder. And I am feeling this energy for a lot of people really kicking off around the full moon. The revelation of Isis is needed when something or someone is not as it outwardly appears to be. No matter how sacred it may seem, a spiritual person, a family relationship, a shared history. There are times when, although it is more painful to admit the truth in the short term, in the long term it will save you much suffering and feelings of being duped, misled, manipulated, used, or abused. It will also make it more likely that the situation or relationship can grow into a healthier expression if possible. You cannot heal what is not revealed. That's so funny. It's pretty much verbatim what we were talking about it was either the reading, I think it was the daily reading for yesterday. So that's wicked funny. Isis is with you now to help you realize the truths, to admit that you probably already sensed it anyway, and to make wise use of those revelations now. The Oracle of Truths Unveiled speaks of a time soon to come when you will realize true perception. What you thought was trustworthy, legitimate, or reliable may turn to sand crumbling before your eyes. It may be a friendship, a job, an offer of some kind, or even the behavior of a loved one, causing you to question the real commitment or respect in a family or romantic relationship. What is important here is to realize that when you see truth, you can act appropriately. You will not proceed with inappropriate expectations, and you can reassess your boundaries and priorities to get the most out of a situation and not suffer undue disappointment later on, right? This is the acting. This is that taking action where the action is necessary, right? Isis was betrayed by her brother Set, who out of his great jealousy murdered her beloved Osiris. Now Isis was able to demonstrate great spiritual strength and healing power to resurrect her beloved Osiris, and all was not lost. She also learned a painful and valuable lesson that it is wise to take our intuitive feelings seriously and to recognize a snake in the grass when there is one. When pregnant with her divine child Horus, she ran and hid from Set, recognizing that he was destructive and dangerous, honoring what she knew and not pretending it would all just be fine. And in doing so, her child was able to be born. In the same way, there are creative impulses and new life within you that need to be protected until they are strong enough to withstand negativity or undermining by another out of jealousy or fear. Even a close friend whom you love and who loves you may struggle with your creative side, perhaps because they are yet to tap into their own creativity. It is best to be honest with yourself and know that sometimes, out of sense and kindness, the fragile creative beginnings of a project or a new habit or interest need to be protected. Like Isis, you must protect that which needs it by recognizing where something or someone could harm rather than nourish new life. You're being guided with this oracle to trust your judgment about someone's motivations or intentions. If you feel something is not quite right, then give your discernment a chance to more fully form so that you can see the truth. The more emotionally detached you allow yourself to be, the clearer your assessment of a person, situation, or offer is likely to be. If you have been thinking that you already see the truth in a situation, this oracle is confirmation of the accuracy of that perception, and that further confirmation that you are seeing something accurately will soon be given if requested. Ask for revelation and be patient. Clear perception is imminent and will help you make wise choices, right? So this is really interesting. The masculine energy is getting into this. This is that energy that we felt that we were talking about, of a situation that was presented that is not what it seems, right? These situations that are calling the masculine energy to really question their integrity, to question when they are acting in integrity, and to question the integrity of others, and to really see and understand and begin to discern the difference between who is being truthful and honest and who is not, right? We have this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. We have this full moon coming up, right? Where all of these secretive, manipulative tendencies are being exposed. And so I'm really feeling this. I'm really, like we said, feeling this coming out more clearly around the full moon. But it's like, you already know. You already know what to say yes to. You already know what to say no to. You already know what you said yes to that maybe you need to reevaluate, right? It's nothing is set in stone right now. There are so many different moving pieces, and the masculine energy is really learning how to look beyond appearances, to really look into the heart of matters, to look with the intuition, with heart-centered intuition into situations. And really, this is, like I said, that's where that initiation by fire quote came out. This is in some ways an initiation by fire, an initiation into a higher level of discernment and a higher level of being. So that's really interesting. Clear. And so now we're going to get a card for union. Let's get the union energy. I mean, I feel like they kind of gave us the union energy with this, honestly. I feel like it's 2 for the masculine, 2 for the feminine, and the balance. But we're going to see if any other, if we're getting any other cards for union energy. Queen of Heaven, blessing from the Divine Empress of the Skies. Ooh, I've never seen this card before. This one is completely new to me. So this is a card for the union energy here. And then I love this on the bottom of the deck. Under that, we have Pyramid of Light. Step your vibration deeper into love. So that fits perfectly as well. But we're going to see. I'm really intrigued because, as I said, I've used this deck. I've had this deck. This is one of my oldest decks. I absolutely love it. And I've used it a lot. So it's pretty rare that I come across a card that I've never seen before. Okay. This says, the Queen of Heaven, the Divine Empress of the Skies, acknowledges your feminine authority now as a man or a woman. You have a life path of spiritual leadership to bring qualities of mercy, compassion, and wisdom into the world. All right. So this is the twin flame mission, right? And this is either the mission of the individual when they are unified within, right? And also, if we're talking about the larger twin flame journey as well, the mission when those energies come together, as your energies come together, right? And you come into union within, you come into your life purpose, you come into your service to humanity. And then you quite possibly attract a sacred divine partner who has a similar mission. And you combine, the energies are combined, right? The power of the love, that vibration of love within, reflected without, is so strong that it literally blows the top off the pyramid, just like in this picture. The Oracle of the Queen of Heaven is confirmation of your feminine leadership and spiritual authority, whether in male or female body in this lifetime. Isis means throne, and in her presence and blessing as Divine Empress of the Skies, she offers initiates of the light, both men and women, great feminine spiritual power. Feminine spiritual authority occurs when power is tempered with mercy, wisdom, compassion, and love. It is inspired spiritual leadership through the heart and a model of power and authority that is based in empowerment rather than force or control. Isis, Queen of Heaven, calls you to ascend to the throne of feminine leadership within your own being, that you may fulfill your life mission and serve the divine feminine on this planet from a place of inner spiritual authority. Yes. Oh, this is so perfect. This oracle is confirmation to step forward in leadership if you have been considering doing so. Yep. Living your truth and integrity and leading by authentic example. And so that's what our masculine energy and our feminine energy is learning to do right now, right? Is learning trust, faith, surrender, releasing, right? Stepping into our integrity, stepping into our authority. You are encouraged to contemplate how you might step more fully into your own authority. Often this requires that we make peace with the authority figures in our lives, past and present, and how we have experienced these relationships, whether as supportive, truthful, and empowering, or as disempowering, shaming, or perhaps minimizing or inflating our sense of grandiosity. Healthy relationships with authority figures help us recognize where we can learn and perhaps be mentored by another, and where we too can help others learn and grow. Through the eyes of the divine feminine, authority is not a question of hierarchy, with one or more authoritative over another who has less authority. It is rather like a circle of life where we all have different awareness, ability, and mastery to share with each other, together guiding each other into greater wholeness. Each of us with our own spiritual responsibility for our growth and our own capacity to help others to the degree that we are willing and able. So this is cooperative energy, right? This is the energy of shared power. This is the energy that we're moving into. This is the energy that we are birthing onto this planet, right? This beautiful, sacred, creative energy, this cooperative energy, this age of Aquarius type energy, right? As we return to the truth of our nature, right? The truth of creation, we bring this beautiful feminine creation energy, this cooperation energy into the world, right? We learn how to express and how to work with each other, not against each other. And we learn how to, this says we all bring our individual selves, our individual skills, our individual talents and abilities and mastery to the table. And we work together and we complement each other. And so that's what we're doing in all of our divine partnerships, right? In all of our relationships, in all of our interactions, as we create this new world together through the spirit of complementing each other, working with each other, right? Cooperation, helping each other to grow, lifting each other up. Yes. Making peace with authority figures, past and present, often involves pulling back the unconscious projection of our own authority, divinity, and strength upon these persons, seeing them as belonging to ourselves and allowing the other to be more human. It may involve recognizing the gifts and the human failings of the authority figure and within ourselves in that moment, seeing the grace involved as two people with limited consciousness attempted a relationship. There will always be gifts and learning on both sides of the relationship. Allow the release of forgiveness that comes with compassion and the freedom that willingness to grow within brings, so that your relationship to authority within and externally can be healed and transformed. I love that. That's so beautiful. And how do we transform it? With love, right? Step your vibration deeper into love. Embodying more and more of that love frequency, of that beautiful, sacred, divine frequency. I love this. This is so beautiful. This, excuse me. I need to have a sip of water here. This is just, this is gorgeous energy. Yeah. And yeah, this reading's been going on for a long time. So I'm not going to pull any more cards. I am going to wrap this up. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you were able to look at this from the two aspects of the self and really look at how those energies are working and merging within you, right? How these two aspects are playing out and the beauty of when that comes together and we are able to step into the fullness of our leadership, right? To really make that difference, to work and cooperate with others in this beautiful, divine, empowered way to bring these changes to humanity, right? To step deeper into that vibration of love. Everything that we're doing, everything that we're learning is bringing us closer and closer and deeper into that vibration, right? As we are releasing, right? Releasing what doesn't serve, allowing that healing to take place, releasing that attachment, right? honoring the truth of ourselves and the truths in others, even when others are not willing to see that. Being willing to stand up for what it is that we believe in, to go after what it is that we believe in, to have the courage to take that action and to stand up for what's right, even if other people around us are not doing so, right? So much powerful energy, so many powerful lessons that we are learning right now. It's so exciting. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button. It helps to get these videos out to more people. It really helps to support the channel. There are links to donate down below if you wish to donate to the channel and support all the free content I love making for you guys. Comment, let me know how this video resonated. Let me know about your own journey with your masculine and feminine energies and how that is possibly reflected outward as well. Let me know anything and everything that you have to say, that you are thinking, that you are feeling. I want to know. I love connecting with you guys and knowing what you're going through and what your experiences are, right? We're all learning from each other and growing with each other here. That's what we do. I appreciate you so very much. There is a list of my services down below as well. Shoot me an email if you'd like a personal reading, if you would like a healing. I do incredibly powerful energetic healings, mode of healing called Belvaspata. It was downloaded as a response to the changing energies on the planet. It was gifted to us to help humanity through this ascension process. I would love to share that with you. Please reach out to me if you feel so called to do so. I love you. I appreciate you. I will talk to you all soon.